progression over time and space of economic, technical, cultural, historic, social, and demographic world systems towards a solution of both large and small-scale problems using ethically responsible standards of practice that are common across geographic and political barriers. Essentially, it's an attempt to abolish international barriers and create a common global market. My paper supports the argument that globalization has a significant impact on our civil engineering industry. It affirms us of the impact of globalization on professional practice, the education system, and engineering ethics. And it also addresses that the relevant concerns of our industry require globalization to be addressed strategically. The first supporting point in my paper was that globalization impacts professional practice due to an emerging global labor force. Global labor works to promote cost reduction, and that engineering companies may offshore work to other companies within different countries that offer low-cost services and consulting solutions. Offshore work does, however, present a concern over low-wage labor for engineers and laborers, leaving one to question, who's responsible for this or resolving this issue? I strongly believe it's a matter of policies that need to be addressed by the government of the nation where this problem takes place, but it should also be brought to light by those persons directly affected, for example, civil engineers. Global labor also increases competition within the market. Halcro, KBR, CH2M Hill are all leaders in providing global engineering services, giving them the advantage they need in competition, in communication, and innovation. The second point in my paper was that globalization impacts academics. The Accreditation Board of Engineers and Technologists recently began in 2007 accrediting academic programs that recognize or mutually recognize the experience of engineers outside the United States. And this is a step in the right direction. The third supporting point in my paper was that globalization impacts ASCE's Code of Ethics, because it makes one wonder that there is no standard within our Code of Ethics that explicitly addresses the issue of the international public safety, which is understandable in the context that when the original ASCE Code of Ethics were created and even later modified in the 1950s, international public safety was not as pertinent an issue as the safety of the local public. Now, however, there is an increasing amount of engineering companies overseeing projects in different countries with different codes that are in some cases even underdeveloped. Thus, a common set of ethical standards need to be set in place for offshore work. Look at the International Organization for Standardization. They recently began launching guidelines for drinking water systems, drinking water supply systems, and also wastewater sewerage systems, and 31 countries participated in this. ASCE's Code of Ethics could be expanded in order to recognize new standards for offshore work. All in all, there is no one solution to the potential issues that globalization could create. However, incremental steps can be taken in order to assure that the issues are addressed strategically. Our industry needs to foster an environment of allegiance to the people affected by a given project, tolerance and respect for the nature and beliefs of these people, integrity through adhering to a rigid code of behavior, knowledge and experience of the different cultures in order to reduce conflict, and also efficiency and the quality of the final product. I hope that this presentation has convinced you of the existing common global market that is globalization, about how it impacts professional practice, academics, and ethics, and also how to quell potential issues that could arise within globalization.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'll start by asking a question. In working internationally, there are some practices that are viewed differently in different areas.
Right.
Canon 6, for instance, addresses bribery and fraud, but they don't address different practices, such as, for instance, in some countries, giving of gifts is traditional as part of a welcome or thank you. As an American engineer who might practice internationally, how would you address a topic like that that might be interpreted differently in different nations?
As an American engineer, how would I address the issue of bribery?
Well, the issue of, for instance, if you were working in a country where the giving of gifts was a traditional way of greeting or expressing appreciation or things like that. Do you think that's legal or ethical within the construct of...
It may be legal within their culture, but as an engineer, as an American engineer, I know what my code of ethics stands for, and I should have the ethical responsibility to abide by that. I'm sure that there is a way that you can turn something like that down if you feel responsible to do so. So that's what I would do. I would turn it down professionally.
Do you feel as though, as a young engineer still in school studying engineering and still learning about the profession, do you feel that when you enter the real world, you will be properly equipped, so to speak, to deal with moral dilemmas and ethically approach them? And why do you feel you would, or we?
It's a two-way street, because in our curriculum we learn about engineering ethics, but we don't necessarily learn as far as what I've seen, we don't necessarily learn of what to do in cases where we're overseeing projects in different countries, whether it be in the country, or whether we're in the United States working on a project abroad. So honestly, I don't feel as though we're adequately equipped to deal with global engineering today. I believe that that should be set in stone in our curriculum now. We need to address these issues because it's so important now. Look at China and how they're dealing with globalization issues. How are we addressing this issue now? So no, I don't feel as though I'm adequately equipped for every moral dilemma.
I think that's all we have.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
I noticed that you didn't go to the 1 minute mark. Did I?
What's that?
I noticed that you didn't signal for the 1 minute.
You didn't make quite to the...
Okay.
Okay, thank you.